Hello, Twin Flames, and welcome to the 11/11/2020 energy portal for Twin Flames and for Ascension in all of the world. And this reading is going to help you to the next level. It's going to help you see clearly. It's going to give you some guidance on your next steps, and really choose to give your full attention to this reading, choose to receive it, and choose to take your next steps through this symbolic portal. Before I start, I have a really special gift for everybody today on November 11th, 2020, only all the way until 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time, that's New York time. I am offering my personal 3-card readings for $11.11. Just $11.11. You can have a personalized reading for your union. That's a 3-card pull along with commentary from me. And those are recorded and sent to the email that you use at checkout. Just $11.11 for today only. So in the description box below, you can find a link to that. Just click it during the video or after the video, whenever you like. It's going to be there. You can come back to the video and find the link, but it's today only. So grab your reading today. If you resonate with this and you want something a little more personal, I will pull cards for you, and we can work with the divine and just get a clearer sense of the energy in your union. But this is collective. This is what you're going through as well in your union. And I will get started in talking about what cards are here. So we've got the Love and Light deck by Doreen Virtue. We've got the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. We've got the Whispers of Lord Ganesha by Angela Hartfield. We've got the Romance Angels, which is a favorite among Twin Flames, by Doreen Virtue, and the Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. So a lot of heavy hitters here. The reason I chose these cards, well, the obvious reason for the Romance Angels deck, that deck I use a lot for readings when you really desire more romance, that feeling of attracting more romance into your life. I use that there. The Archangel Oracle cards are here to guide us and support us. The Whispers of Lord Ganesha are my blockbuster deck. They're meaning this Ganesha is known to help move through barriers or blocks, and that is really good energy moving through this portal. Of course, the portal it is mostly symbolic, right? It's how you use the numerology of this date in the Gregorian calendar, right? It's a symbol that you can use to really call in your expansion and call in your transformation in your next step. So next, speaking of energy, we've got the Energy Oracle card. So this is going to clarify the energy that you're moving through in the collective, and the very supportive Love and Light deck. And I really like this deck. It's like, I'm going to show you the box. It definitely says Love and Light, right? It's very woo-woo, love and light, right? But the messages on the cards I really appreciate, and they've really given me a lot of support and guidance on my journey. So I'm going to share it with you. These cards are pre-shuffled. I'm going to give them a little stir, and we will get started. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's start with your current energy. What are you in right now in your union? And I'm going to pull lots of cards about your romantic partnership. But your union does include who you are at the core. Your union is really about who you are designed to be and your relationship with your creator who designed you. That is the deeper work. If you really want harmonious union with your twin flame, your ears might perk up at what I just said, and you may like to go deeper and talk to me about it. I have introductory sessions and we can do that. So here's your energy, and we're also going to pull Romance Angels card. Here we go. So 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, and make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So the 5th chakra, as many of you know, is about the throat chakra, which is about expression. So that's not only in talking out loud, but in writing, singing, text messaging, typing, right? So all forms of expression, and there's a make the effort card right here. So what I'm getting from this is that there's some kind of communication block that you're moving through in your union right now. And this is causing you to feel a little bit blocked or stifled. And there's a fear wrapped up in this communication where you're afraid to speak because perhaps you're afraid of rejection, perhaps you're afraid of getting ignored, or whatever it is. There's a fear there. There's a block here. Let's talk to Lord Ganesha to see how to unblock it. Joy. Very good. So did you know that the Holy Spirit, some of you say Holy Spirit, other people call it different things, is a harbinger of joy. It's when you are experiencing true joy in your heart, and I'm not talking about the kind of high feeling giddy hee hee ha ha, like that laughter is great, but I'm talking about joy that's happiness mixed with peace. Like that to me is what joy is. And I really, really like how this is paired with expression and making the effort. So maybe you've been focusing on some negative aspects in your union. Maybe you've been hashing it out with your twin flame in your heart or like verbally out loud. And it's kind of like, picking mushrooms. The more mushrooms you pick, the more they grow back, right? But make sure that you are making space in your heart for joy, and make sure that you're giving your union a chance to experience joy. So if you're experiencing your twin flame not talking to you, chances are you're not talking to this part of yourself, the one that needs and is designed to experience joy. That's one of the places that they could be reflecting to you. Your twin flame is your divine mirror. They're always going to reflect you back to yourself. Very cool. I like these. I'm going to put them aside and pull the next few cards. I'm called to pull from the Love and Light deck and our Archangel Oracle cards. So for this 1111 portal, that's nice. It's a perfect follow-up of what Ganesha is telling us. Make time to work, rest, and play. Those are important, right? Many of us have been taught that we are not allowed to play or rest, that you have to work, and then the play and the rest is kind of like on the side if you get to it. Maybe you'll cut your sleep time a little bit, or maybe you don't play until the very end of the day. I'm guilty of that. It's like I don't incorporate varied playtime activities into my life, and I tend to play a video game at 11 p.m. and then that cuts into my rest, right? Because I'm not giving that to myself during the day. So I've made a new choice recently, and playtime isn't just about playing a game, right? Although it includes that. When you're living your true life purpose, you are going to naturally have fun doing it. So as you can tell, I love doing card readings, right? I love doing them for you. And so it feels good for you to receive my readings because I genuinely want to be here. And I'm actually giving myself playtime right now and I'm being myself, right? Energy card. Hostilities. Good. Okay. So what this tells me is that there's a part of you. And when I say you might experience this as a reflection that your twin flame is giving you, sort of like a fear, hostility towards this play that you really do need. Like, okay, you're not allowed to play. Maybe you experienced that as a child, like being told that you couldn't play or that you had to focus only on work, right? And they're all one thing is what I'm trying to say. And there's a block about hostilities, crystal clear intentions. How does this interact with these? It's really about your focus and your faith. Archangel Michael says, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith, right? So if you desire your harmonious twin flame union, you first need to understand what that is. And it incorporates, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, all of who you are coming into harmony in union, right? You're already in union, but you're harmonizing with that truth. And so how does playtime and, not allowing yourself to have your full varied life throughout the day, how does that have anything to do with your twin flame? Well, it has everything to do with your twin flame. Because remember, they are you. So if you're blocking part of your life out, well, maybe you're doing all rest and all play, right? You're not working enough. That happens too. If you're unbalanced somewhere, they're going to reflect that to you in some way. And it's not going to look exactly the same on the outside. Think about the fact that you are one spiritually. You are a divine masculine or a divine feminine. You're not carbon copies. There's not two divine feminines together. Now, I have to keep giving little disclaimers upon my disclaimers. So if you are a divine feminine, you aren't necessarily in a female body, right? A divine feminine is your polarity. It's an energy, and I'm not talking about your gender. Whatever you identify as is likely what your polarity is, likely, right? But there's many people who've come into more clarity as they've gone deeper within understanding who they really are. And as they did that, as you become more clear with who you really are, this magnetizes your union into one. Your twin flame will be completely magnetized to you. Let's talk to the romance angels a little more. And the Archangel Oracle cards. And let's do some love and light. So we've got... Some of you have seen this card before. This is my Calling in Your Twin Flame card. I think some of you on my channel, at least one of you recently, was asking how to do that. And there's a great way to do that in the book Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover by Jeff and Shaleia. And then you've got Patience, and then you've got God Will Lead the Way. So you can read them like this, or you can read them like that, right? I pulled them this way. So to call in your twin flame, and I've obviously scratched out soulmate and put twin flame because many people say soulmate when they really mean twin flame. A soulmate, I'm going to help you to find the words. This is what my teachers, Jeff and Shaleia, taught me. A soulmate is someone who comes into your life for a time, and then, you ride together, you fly together, and you build things together, but they don't last because they're not meant to be with you eternally. Your twin flame is your eternal divine partner. Lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes, you've come into the world, been together or not, you've been here at the same time and interacted, and you've been working on things internally so that you could attain harmonious union within yourself and with the divine. That's a simultaneous thing. I'm going to get to that when we talk about that card. And so many of you are experiencing this kind of patient waiting. Patience and waiting are two different things. I want to just say that. You're experiencing needing to be patient with the process, right? So Archangel Jophiel says, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Okay, so this is something that I want to go into detail on, this patience idea. Patience and waiting are two different things. Waiting involves lack. Waiting means you don't have faith that it's going to come. Waiting feels bad. It feels like you feel anxious. You worry that the thing that you want won't get there. The expression "a watched pot never boils." Well, it does, but this is what waiting is. It's like looking at what you want. The pot is gonna boil, right? When you put water in it, and you put your fire under the water or your heat under the water, it is going to boil. And most people have begun to have patience rather than to wait for that watched pot to boil. Patience is like, okay, I know that God has a process for this water to boil, and God's process involves science and steps, and things have to happen. The water has to get incrementally hotter, right? So you trust that the water is going to boil, and so you let go of the outcome because you trust that it's going to happen, and there's a process to it. And this is where God steps in with your union. I want you to really feel that analogy of the water boiling, knowing that there's a process. Divine timing, my teacher Shaleia says, divine timing isn't really about time. It's about divine order, divine process, right? You must cultivate within your heart a relationship with yourself and your creator in order to attract or call in your twin flame. You have to desire it and cultivate it. You've got to begin to do that. and choose that. And if you're having trouble because maybe you've only heard of the God that from religion, and maybe that feels good, but maybe to some of you it doesn't, or maybe some of you have had some festering anger towards God. I did when I first started my journey. I was done. I was like, I don't want anything to do with God. He's either not real or he doesn't love me. And I was convinced of that in my heart. Of course, to the exterior, I was like, sure, yay, I love God. But I really, deep in my heart, I was hiding a resentment. But that resentment, it was founded on illusion, right? Like, it wasn't why I was resenting God, was actually about myself and my shutting out love, right? I don't define God by any particular religion's definition, though I would say that the way that I understand and know God is through a Judeo-Christian background, mostly like a Christian background, right? Like a loving, merciful God that loves you and is present and is alive and created you, right? And I know that many other faiths also have the same belief about God, but it's our hearts that need to align with what we've been taught in our mind about the divine. God will lead the way, and this is the only way to attain your harmonious union. Well, how does God lead the way? Does God like bring little fairies into your house and the fairies come and whisper which text message to send to your twin flame next? No. What happens is God works through his creation, which includes your brothers and sisters in the world, everyone, and in your heart, and through synchronicities, which you may be seeing, especially in this 1111 portal. You're going to see 1111s everywhere. And the way that God leads is through peace. And I have an exercise that I use that I was taught by Jeff and Shaleia, and it's called the mirror exercise. And this tool is a spiritual tool that will help you to connect inside your heart and heal everything that your twin flame is showing you that may be out of alignment with love. And that, for me, is how I established my connection with my heart, with God, and let God lead. And it works. It really works. I healed anxiety. I really feel like my life has just completely transformed and continues to transform, because remember, the infinite continues to unfold, right? Okay, let's do another. I'm really enjoying this 1111 portal, and I hope you are too. I'm going to pull one card from each deck. This will be my last pull. And don't forget that, I know that I've said this at the beginning, but my readings are now $11.11 for the 3-card pull for your specific energy in your union, because of course this is a collective energy reading, but it's still for you. Okay, so let's see. We've got the Energy Oracle, the Love and Light deck. We've got the Romance Angels and the Archangel Oracle cards and Ganesha. So we're going to read a sentence. This is our message to go through the portal. We've kind of gone into the deep parts, and now this is the energy that the divine, what we're intending with these cards is what is the divine guiding us to do in this time, in this special day that we're celebrating. Okay. So, good. 3rd chakra, Archangel Shemuel. That is the solar plexus, your seat of power. Spend more time outdoors. It's a great message. That's from our Love and Light deck. Indigo and Crystal Children. Interesting. Getting a really good one. Trust and embrace. What a beautiful, sweet message. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but you may be drawing your own conclusions here. Okay, so what I'm getting from, especially from the energy card, is that you're afraid. You're scared that you can't attain harmonious twin flame union, that you can't attain harmony with your divine life purpose, that you can't make it work. The power card, like when the power card comes up, there's a fear there. And the spend more time outdoors card means to not only go outside, because I've taken walks outside where I actually wasn't very present with nature. It's really about being present with nature, the nature of the universe, being present outdoors and in your home. I'm going to read the bottom. It says, they are like trees planted along the riverbank bearing fruit each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do. And this is also about your divine life purpose. You may be feeling like, well, I need support, but I don't have the money to invest in an Ascension coach. Like, for example, my Ascension coaching. Yes, it is a time and money investment for those who are really serious about this work and the path. And Twinflame Ascension School, again, it's about the time and the investment of money and time. And you may feel like you don't have enough. And if you go outside and you look at the world around you, depending on where you live, every living thing that lives in your environment gets what it needs from the divine, and so do you. There's a misaligned belief that you don't have power and that you don't have your abundance, and really choose to acknowledge that you have a misaligned belief, because God is rich. God is abundant and powerful and wants you to be able to support yourself and wants you to be in harmony with your support and with yourself and with Him. So really choose to release that illusion and choose to let God support you. Choose to allow that possibility to exist in your heart. You might put up some fights like, well, that couldn't possibly, well, I have rent and I have this bill. Sure you do. Of course you do. But let God surprise you. Let Him in. Let Him give you what you need in order to take the next step. And this is a really powerful message, and I haven't even finished it, but this is coming through these cards, is really observe nature and observe how the beasts of the field and the birds of the air get what they need from God, and so do you, if you allow Him. And because your heart is created to be a divine being, you get choice. The animals and the trees don't have choice the way that you do, not the same. So choose that truth about your abundance and about your power. Indigo and crystal children and trust. Well, this is about, it's kind of a continuation. You are a divine child of God. You and your twin flame were created by God. You're God's children, and God wants to love His children, and God created you to be together. So it's time to honor that truth and really see who you are. Why did He create twin flames? Is it just so that people could come together and then that's the end of the story? Is it just so that you could spend your lifetime working on getting together? No, there's a purpose that you were created with a counterpart, right? There's a purpose for your life, and you are going to be continued to be supported no matter what stage you're in. It's what you're working on is trust. And then you've got this really sweet message. I'm getting really teary. You got a really sweet message from the divine, that the divine is embracing you, nurturing you through this energy. If you need to stop and give yourself a hug inside your heart in step 4 of the mirror exercise, do it. Do it 10 times a day. Do it 100 times a day, as much as you need. The divine mother, the divine mother energy does not stop loving her children, does not stop giving to her children. So don't stop giving that to yourself in your own heart. And this is part of step 4 in the mirror exercise. And I'd love to help you with that. Right now, my introductory coaching sessions are just 30 minutes for $33. Not a lot of time or money investment. Try it. I will help you with the mirror exercise, and I will help you to attain this feeling. You can do this. I can't even begin to start. I try to talk about it in my videos. I've received miracles in my healing through this work, through the work of Jeff and Shaleia, through Twinflame Ascension School, and through using the mirror exercise to really go deep within myself. And I am different now than I was 2 years ago. And compare me in this last 2 years to how I was the first 2 decades of my life, right? The first 3 decades, rather. This work is transformational. And if you're watching this video on the 11 portal, I really encourage you to take that step, take that leap of faith and trust that this work works and that you will attain harmonious union with your twin flame. And then you're going to simultaneously discover why you're here, what your purpose is on earth together as one. So I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget, click that link to get the $11.11 for 3 cards for your union. And I hope to see you again very soon. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have new content out regularly. Love you very much and see you soon. Bye-bye.